Hello peeps! Easter has just passed and I think I need to pay homage to an oft forgotten Easter treat that I think looks so freaking cool, the sugar egg. Now I may prefer to munch down on some good old chocolate bunnies, but I can't help admiring the sugar egg design, so I decided to turn myself into one. This is my 2018 hopeful entry into the Australian Next Space Awards, so let's get to it, shall we? Starting off, we have some icing decorations to prep. I found some rose earrings and mini roses from a nail art kit and I'm pressing these into plasticine to make some molds so I can have many of these to stick onto my face. I am filling them with liquid latex and tissue, but FX gelatin would work almost as well, potentially as any other skin safe pourable mold material would. I did experiment with other methods of floral creation, but if I did it again I'd mostly stick to the mold process as it was much faster, drying time included, than most of the other methods you see strewn on this table. I am painting my latex flowers and foam flowers with a mix of colours to make pastel shades, first spacing it out in white to remove the brown set latex colours and the colours of the foam, and here using a little bit of Little Denim Dress liquid suede and the NYX eyeshadow base in white or ESB01 to make pastel blue flowers, but you can use the jumbo pencils, body paint or anything skin safe. Onto application. Starting out doing a horrid job of covering my eyebrows, but at this point I expected I would be covering them in flowers and leaves, so I didn't bother doing a better job. I just used a glue stick and water for this. Now with the Milk Jumbo Pencil I am adding white cream to my skin as a base, and it looks this horrid because for the life of me I can find no sharpeners that will fit the jumbo pencils, so I carved the sides of them with scissors so I can sharpen them with the sharpeners I have. I am putting this in the highlight areas to start, then I take cottage cheese and strawberry milk and started adding this, but I didn't feel like attacking more pencils with scissors once I had blended them, so I took the eyeshadow base again and added this to my skin to up the pastelness, with the added benefit of easier blending before taking turned up lipsticks in Privileged and Beam to add the pinks. I added these in the contour areas and then blended with my fingers because it is way easier to wash my hands than to wash cream out of a brush. Taking the NYX HD setting powder, I set this creamy mess so I won't melt all over everything and then can blend powders over the base. I took the Primal Colours Hot Fuchsia shadow to start deepening my contour areas. I like to heavily contour and pretend that I am not a round potato with no bone structure, but you contour wherever you feel is best. Then, while the camera struggles to focus, I'm taking the Hot Singles eyeshadow in Wild Orchid to further define the deepest contour areas, chin, cheeks and collarbones for me, the 3 C's. Then I take the same brush from before to blend out this nice and smooth. This is optional as it can stuff up your base, but I take the Lid Lingerie in White Lace Romance and add this to some of the highlight areas, carefully tapping it out so as not to lift the base, which I accidentally did with the nose off camera, but let's pretend that didn't happen. Anyway, then taking the pink shades from the Strobe of Genius palette, I highlight over these areas, the cheeks, the forehead, the whole normal highlight shebang. Now to start the eye, I take NYX's white liquid liner to base out the shape of the later line. This does not need to be perfect at the moment, but will help you place the shadows. I'm doing a kind of interesting icing shape, so basically random lines. Then taking the Privileged Turnt Up lipstick, I use this as a cream base for the Wild Orchid shadow, placing this under the lower lash white squiggle line in the crease and above the other white squiggle line, making sure to blend it as much as possible. Then I'm taking the white Lid Lingerie to add a wide area at the front of my lid. Taking NYX's Froyo pigment and using this to blend the white to the pink. Then I take the Wild Orchid shadow to set the lipstick and to deepen and blend the deep pink areas. My eyes are done, so let's start adhering some of them flowers. I put some pearls in the center of some of these flowers, like they do with some icing flowers in real life with the edible pearls, so feel free to do so if you are so inclined. My biggest top tip for this is to not aim for symmetry when placing the flowers, but aim for balance. Don't make one side too heavy unless that's kind of what you're after. I semi-balance the colors and sizes of the flowers from each side of the face. Then I am adding a line of icing separating my back and front like sugar eggs have when they have the two sides of the egg that are attached together. I also base out where my frosting necklace will go. Now I added leaves with the Envy Vivid Brights liner, but I was terrible at filming it, so soz. At least you have a couple of 3D leaves here that you can actually see. I fill it in with the Envy, and then I used the Insomnia pigment to highlight the filled leaves, which I did to all the 2D leaves as well. Now I am taking more liquid latex in a bottle and making the icing separating my back and front a touch more 3D. Then for the chest centerpiece I use a bought flower as the center and I'm outlining some leaves and binding coming from it, first with the Insomnia pigment since it was still on my brush, and then with the Glide On liner in Tropical Green. Again, I fill the design with Vivid Envy Brights liner and highlight with the Insomnia pigment. For the necklace frosting, I just guessed and carved negatives into plasticine and also used latex soap tissue in I guess a kind of dog poop kind of shape for frosting dollops. I'm now going back over the dried separator frosting to bring back the white, and I use a little bit of blue shadow to add dimension to the frosting as well. I used electroshock, but any kind of blue will do, or I guess grey, and I honestly go over it again with white to tone it down later. I mostly only used it as I had shaded the white flower edges with it. I also use this to shade a little bit of the 2D foliage. Now I attach the frosting dollops and also add the remaining flowers I had kicking around. This one fell off my necklace onto the chest piece, so I said fluff it and adhered it there, and another one to balance it on the other side. I also wanted to emulate the pearliness of my egg case and added more pearls around the look, and that wasn't enough for me, so I ended up adding rhinestones everywhere because I am me and I add rhinestones all the time, even though they frustrate the hell out of me and it makes everything take so much longer. I lined my eyes with milk first, but then I used blue to distinguish them from the white squiggle. This was Little Denim Dress lip liner. Now I clean up the white squiggles with more white eyeliner, tight line with milk, and add some big old falsies, which were black, which didn't really pull right with the rest of the look, so I used the white liner and the Blossom Vivid liner to add more pastelness to the pair of lashes. Lastly, for the lips, using the same two turned up lipsticks we've been using, I did an ombre lip, the darker pink and then the lighter pink in the center, then I added a little bit of Little Denim Dress in the center for some purpleness. And yes, the Liquid Slade lipstick completely covered this step. Then I added a single pearl to my lip, a white lace front wig, and boom, all done. Thanks for watching, peeps. I hope you all enjoyed your Easter, or if you don't celebrate it, hopefully took some time off, or at least got holiday rates. I wish you all the best and hope you'll stick around to see if we make it to the top 30. If we do, I will need all your help to make it through, as last year painfully proved. Don't worry about it. I was just not a very good contestant last year. Anyway, love you all and stay classy, peeps.
Something careful with the chair, I'm gonna want so thick and hard.
I've never fallen off this chair.
Yeah, but I said you will now, so you don't do it.
I can't know. There's nowhere to fall. There's nowhere to fall.
Then that's the mistake of rock bottom. You think you're at rock bottom, then you keep falling.
How do you throw a phone through 3 floors? Oh no, there's a calculator.
Stay.
The softest little kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My teeth have never looked yellow.